Thinking about test driving a 1999 Jimmy? Don't just take our word for it. Listen to what consumers everywhere are saying about the Jimmy.
I love the Jimmy. It has all the features I want. It drives like a luxury car.
Yeah, I'd say I love this Jimmy.
It's a fun truck to drive.
There's a lot to love about the GMC Jimmy. From the sporty front bumper, headlamps and grille, to the refined seat styling and driver-friendly instrument panel, right on back to the split folding rear seat with up to 74 cubic feet of cargo space. All in all, the 1999 Jimmy is the perfect combination of good looks, comfort, and the reliability you get from a real truck.
Had no trouble climbing the hills with that Vortex engine that my husband said would be great. We just would step on the gas and off we'd go.
This is my studio. I make all kinds of crazy art pieces, you know, lots of wild, kooky stuff. People always ask me, where do I get my ideas? I just look at life. I just see the humor in things. I love going to my work. You know, I love going and creating things. When you do a piece and you see it really communicate, wow, you know, you see that moment. I mean, that's probably the biggest charge, I think, with any artist. The way the Jimmy fits into my life is I'm always delivering art pieces. So you go back and you grab the seat and you pull it down and this little headrest goes and pops right in. And you just went, wow, you know, this is cool. There's little things, like when you're looking at it on a design level as an artist, it feels like a sculpted art piece. What I like a lot is the styling of the truck. There's nothing overdone. It has a balance, has a symmetry, but it's also incredibly functional. There was this experience of discovering the Jimmy. First thing I noticed was the rearview mirror. It has this automatic thing for day and night. The lights come on automatically. This is really kind of a neat thing because it's a safety thing in the daytime. But at night, it even goes on. You forget to turn the lights on, it goes on automatically. It has these little accessory plugs. I'll take my computer and I'll take it to like the top of the hill. When you can hook your phone up, you plug in the computer thing, plug in your car phone to the deal, plug the computer into the car phone, go onto the internet, and there you are at the top of the mountain on the internet having a blast, you know? The Jimmy is like user-friendly. That's what I like about it. You feel like it's designed for you. It's just fun to drive.
I love that the radio adjusts higher to keep up with the road noise.
I can't say enough about the car itself.
I'm Mary Burak. I'm a travel agent for Uniglobe Advantage Travel. I am a leisure specialist at the travel agency, so I like to do a lot of adventure. My Jimmy, I love it. There's nowhere that I can't go. When I drive the Jimmy, I feel so much in control. It hugs the road. It really sits tight. I feel like I'm in command. Being a professional, a lot of times I wear dress suits, and I can just swing into the Jimmy and be very comfortable getting into the Jimmy or out of the Jimmy, and that's really important. It's wonderful for kids. I take my girlfriend's kids sometimes, put them in the back seat belt them in, and they can't get out with those child protective locks. The heated seats, those are really nice, especially in those cold winter days. Another feature I like about the Jimmy is the lockout control. I can't lock my keys in the car. The sunroof, that was really awesome. I think everyone should have a Jimmy. They're wonderful. You could do anything with them and go anywhere. It's the best vehicle I've ever owned.
I'm a Ford Explorer owner, and I feel like I bounce around more, and the Jimmy has a real smooth ride. I really enjoy it.
I tell anybody that was looking at a utility vehicle that before making their final decision, they need to get in a Jimmy and try it, because I think they'd be making a mistake by not at least giving this an opportunity and giving this a fair comparison.
What else do people like about the Jimmy?
Well, it has the controls tilted a little more toward the driver, which I really like, and a little handle here, and also dual airbags. Both sides have airbags.
It gives us all the room that we had in the minivan with a much sportier ride.
Stick around and see what special gifts GMC has in store for you just for test driving the 1999 Jimmy.
I'm a law enforcement officer in Southern California. Been doing that for 18 years. I've enjoyed it immensely. I love being with my children because I get a chance to see them grow and being outdoors and doing things like this. It really gives us a lot of pleasure seeing them out here. Being a law enforcement, what's important to me in a vehicle is safety. We test drove the Jimmy, and I like the feature of the airbags, dual airbags on both sides. So the daytime running lights, you know, they go on automatically. I like that feature a lot.
The lift window is a very nice feature because you don't always have to open the tailgate. There are many times you have small items that you don't want to open up the entire gate.
I like the fact you have 20 minutes where you could still put the radio on, or if you left your window down, you can always still hit the window and bring it back up. That's a great feature.
When I test drove the Jimmy, the first thing I thought of, it's a fun car.
I would definitely recommend you test drive it. I mean, Susan and I are glad we did test drive one because it gave us a different perspective of a GMC truck. I think it's great. The next time we go out and buy a vehicle, we are definitely going to look at a GMC product and a Jimmy. That's the honest truth.
I first had a problem showing big ranches. I was driving more of a sedan, sort of a town car, and then people would call and say, I'd really like to see every inch of that big piece of property. And so I borrowed a neighbor's car, and it turned out to be a Jimmy. I took the client around, and he said, this is so nice inside. The first time people get in the Jimmy, they're really impressed by the interior. It's more like a luxury car inside, and yet when you get out to the ranch and start driving around, it goes over everything. One thing that I like about the Jimmy is the overhead console that has the direction finder and also gives you the outdoor temperature. I've always driven luxury cars because you have to in this business. And I think most of my clients in the price range that they're in with these big properties, they always expect that kind of luxury because they drive Jaguars and Mercedes and everything. When they get in the Jimmy, they just feel right at home. I think this Jimmy is just really terrific.
I train competitive dogs for a living, and to train competitive dogs, you have to get in some places that are not frequented by most people, because the good areas to train in are the areas that are very difficult, very wild. You have to have a truck that'll get you back there. I feel comfortable taking them any place. Sand, rock, it doesn't matter. We're working Hondo, and through the use of the Jimmy, we were able to get back here to this beautiful spot on the river today that we normally can't get to. I think the Jimmy gives me an edge over most of the other trainers because I can get to areas that allow me to give the dog these experiences. The GMC name has always meant quality. They stand for just a little bit better than the rest. That's what it's always meant to me. They just do the job that they were designed to do, and even beyond that.
The GMC Jimmy has definitely got what it takes to pack a lot of cargo. In fact, with up to 74 cubic feet of cargo space, the 1999 Jimmy really brings a lot to the party. You need a vehicle that pulls more than its own weight? Well, Jimmy tows up to 5,500 pounds. And when the going really gets tough, Jimmy takes you from two-wheel to four-wheel drive with the push of a button, delivering a smooth ride, no matter what the terrain. Now about those gifts. Just for coming into a GMC dealer's showroom and giving the Jimmy a test drive, you'll receive up to $2,100 in air travel and cruise discounts, which you can use on travel to hundreds of exotic destinations. And if you decide to buy or lease a new Jimmy, this'll come in real handy. GM Protection Plan Smart Care, a maintenance program for your new Jimmy for 36 months or 36,000 miles at no additional charge. A $485 value if you act now. So what are you waiting for? This offer is good for only 60 days from the date on the letter that came with this video. Come into a GMC showroom today and see for yourself why everyone's in love with the GMC Jimmy.